Hi, this is Rodney from rodneysblog.net, and today we are going to be diving into chapter 4 of Genesis, Cain and Able. So let's get right to it. Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord I have brought forth a man." Later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept the flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord, and Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. So right away here, there might be a little confusion as to what's going on. Why did God look with favor on Abel and not Cain? And they were both trying to do something for God and both trying to give a gift to God. And basically, in a nutshell, Abel gave his best. He gave the best fat portions from the firstborn. He spared no expense, and Cain. It just says that Cain brought some of the stuff that he had grown, and he didn't. It didn't necessarily say he didn't give his best, but obviously it wasn't very impressive. So God was not pleased with the offer. And we learn a lot from this. I mean, we learn that God knows when you're giving him your best and when you're just giving him the leftovers, or not doing your best for him. So you can't fool God. So that's what we learn, and God expects us to give him our best every time. So let's continue in verse 6. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." So, God tries to talk to Cain. Don't be angry. Don't be sad. Just do the right thing. If you do the right thing, I'll accept you. So it doesn't matter if you mess up, if you change and you start doing the right thing, God will still accept you. That's pretty much the message there. And verse 8, now Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. So the first recorded history of a murder here in Acts chapter 4 verse 8. Cain was jealous of his brother because of what was going on with God, and he was jealous, so he killed his brother. In verse 9, then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" So, very famous saying, "Am I my brother's keeper?" This word comes from right here. The Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." So, I don't know how that happens, but when you're guilty of murder, the blood of an innocent person can actually cry out from the ground. Verse 11, now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opens its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. So yeah, curses can come from God. He can curse you for doing the wrong thing, for doing evil. In verse 12, when you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. So God told him that no matter how hard he works, he won't be able to grow anything anymore. And basically, he won't have a home. He will be wandering the earth restlessly for the rest of his existence. In verse 13, Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." And that's pretty straightforward there. He's just saying that, he can't bear the punishment. He's afraid for his life. In verse 15, but the Lord said to him, not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. So even though he was under a curse, he could no longer grow anything, he's going to be a wanderer. At the same time, God still protected him and put a mark on him. There's been speculation about what was the mark. Was it a birthmark? Was it a scar? Was it a tattoo? Was it dark skin? Nobody really knows, and that's not important. The point is that he was marked, and that even if somebody does something wrong, God will still protect you. You will still matter to God. So anybody who were to kill him would suffer punishment 7 times over. And verse 16, so Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Very interesting there. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Now Enoch was the one who walked with God so closely that God took him. So from something so tragic, Enoch was born. Cain was then building a city, and he named it after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mehujael, and Mehujael was the father of Methuselah, and Methuselah was the father of Lamech. Lamech married 2 women, one named Ada and the other Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who live in tents and raise livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all who played the string instruments and pipes. Zillah also had a son, Tubal-Cain, who forged all kinds of tools out of bronze iron. Tubal, Cain's sister, was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, listen to me, wives of Lamech, hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. So this is Lamech saying to his wives, he was aware of the curse that God had put on Cain, and he said he was boasting about killing someone, and then he said God will avenge me 77 times. You can't really just say things and expect God to honor it. But, he was more than likely just being arrogant when he said that. In verse 25, Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son named Seth, saying, God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. Seth also had a son and named him Enoch. At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord. So the rest is pretty straightforward. I want to thank you for listening. And again, this is Rodney from rodneysblog.net. Have a great day.